You ready to go? I've turned that off. Or it will work. Here we go.
Live.
From the Queen City studio.
With the Deacon live.
Right now. Ready? Yes.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, is history going Molly and Tommy? A new idea. See, I already screwed it up every time. Let me try that again. It would help to read these things before I go on the air. I read them, but I can't read my own handwriting when I get done. So we're going to try this again. So exciting.
Live.
From the Queen City studio.
With the Deacon live.
Right now. Ready? Yes.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, is history going Molly and Tommy? A new idea on an old, tired restaurant. And why can I get you out of my head? And why do people all of a sudden hate Tesla? All these questions and topics will be discussed on this episode of Deacon Live. How are you? How's everyone doing? How's everything going? And one thing we like to do here right when we start off, hands above the head and big stretch. Oh, get the air in. Whoo! We at Deacon Live have just gotten back from our trip to New York. And I know the podcast is a little bit late, and I apologize for all that, and I'll give you guys something here, bonus or something like that. I haven't figured it out yet. Probably figure it out here in the next couple minutes, though. But we just got back from New York, and we left the Charlotte area. Actually, we flew out of, Douglas Airport over there in Charlotte, and flew out. And it was an hour flight to Baltimore because we flew Southwestern, and then it was like a 45-minute jump to Islip, which is one of the airports around the Long Island area, and that's where we spent most of our time up there in the Long Island area. Deacon Live did a couple shows. We met a bunch of people, talked to a lot of interesting people, a lot of different things that we didn't know about that was going on in the New York area, and we learned a lot. And we have all these available for you if you're part of the members only section of Prophet Radio. Go to the members only section, sign up, and you get all that material that we had over in New York. We talked to, I got my notes right here. Why don't you read the notes there, Ding Dong? We actually talked to a couple school teachers that were telling us, they're getting ready for the new school years, getting ready to start, and some of the training that they had to go through for like active school shooters, it was incredible, the stories that they were telling us. And they were saying that, I'll just break it real small down for you, is it's not, protect the kids. It was training for when the kids get shot. Like, this is inevitably going to happen. How to pack a wound. Don't tie off a wound. Pack it with something, a sock, a shirt, or a wound with, to stop the bleeding. And it was just crazy stuff like that. And they were literally, I know a few years back, they were saying that one school was giving, like, all the teachers rocks to throw at the active shooter to slow him down. And everyone laughed and, mocked and that school's idea. But literally these schools in Long Island were telling the teachers to grab books and throw them at the active shooter to slow him down. Kind of like when you're running through, you've seen the chase scenes where the bad guy's trying to get away and the good guys are trying to follow him, and they go through the back of the Chinese restaurant and they flip everything over to slow him down, slow the cops down. Kind of the same thing. You want to slow the shooter down. And that was their training. I was like, oh. But all that's available on the members only section of Prophet Radio. And we also went through a couple hospitals, talked to some people while we were there. And I didn't realize that most of the hospitals, if not all the hospitals in the area in New York, are nonprofit. So that kind of tells you that is the healthcare good in New York, or is it just kind of like, we're not going to make any money, so we'll just cut this limb off instead of giving you a vaccine. It was really weird. And then we went to a couple town hall meetings and in the local area, and they were talking about redoing their taxes. That wasn't exciting, but it's fun to hear all this stuff that little town hall meetings and stuff that goes on. And so that was New York. We went to New York, and it was exciting every day. I'll tell you what, if there wasn't a pizza or a loaf of bread or cold cuts or something that we ate at one meal, we ate it for every meal. So every meal was either pizza or dough or some kind of pasta or some kind of cold cut sandwich. Or, we went out to dinner a couple times. Some people that we met out there actually took us out to dinner, which was nice. And it was I don't want to say it was an eye-opening. It was a fun trip. We met a lot of new fans out there, a lot of old fans that we've seen before. And I just wanted to say thank you, everyone that invited us, DeaconLive, out to New York, Long Island area. And we can go to your town as well. And we do the 7 days. We can come around and do all the stuff and talk about all this stuff. And kind of like the, was it tourist department, if you want. If you want us to come out and tour your city, and we'll talk about you on the air. It's kind of fun. Even if you just got a couple local shops and stuff, we'll come out to your place. So that's what we did up in New York. So how are you? I know I already asked you and stuff. One thing I do want to say, speaking of how are you, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. I was going over the numbers when we got back from New York because for whatever reason, I didn't bring a laptop up there. My wife had her laptop, but it doesn't have all my stuff on it. I thought I could get away with just doing everything through my tablet and my phone, and I forgot some stuff. But I was going over the numbers, and just to let you guys know, all you listeners out there, we appreciate each and every one of you. And again, I apologize for being late on this podcast. And you know what I'm going to do for you? If you email me, deacon@profitradio.com, I'll send you some free swag. All you got to do is put free swag in the subject and then put your address down, and I'll send something out to you. And for the podcast being late. So I apologize for that. I know I got back, I'm doing laundry and trying to pack up everything and move everything around and pick up the dogs from the kennel and trying to get caught up here on the French. But I want to go over some of the numbers with you guys real quick. Ireland, we picked up a couple spots over in Ireland. I say a couple spots. It doesn't give me the actual number. It just shows the locations of where someone has downloaded the Deacon Live podcast. Over in Manchester, actually, the UK. Manchester has downloaded some Deacon Live podcasts over there. And then I'm going to go through real quick. Charlotte, of course, number one. New York City, Buffalo, Phoenix, LA, and San Francisco. Appreciate you guys out there on the West Coast. Just give me a ring. We'll come out there and hang out with you. No problem. And also Eugene, Oregon. So we're getting those flyover states as well. So if you're saying, am I the only one? No, there's plenty of you guys out there. You can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Spotify. You can do all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe to us and do all this stuff. Have I done enough self-promoting? Have I done enough? The only reason why I'm doing all the self-promoting is because, we're trying to get on to broadcast with China. Why not? NBA, you've seen all the stuff with NBA and the movie stars and politics and all the stuff. China's the big market. China is huge for the United States as far as getting your message out there and getting a product out there to a large quantity of people. Because, technically, don't they not really have much to do in China other than make our shirts and toys and look at everything that Walmart makes, or has. They don't make it. It's all made in China, made in China, made in China. So they got nothing else to do. They're working, 24 hours a day and for like 3 days straight. And then they got nothing but money to spend. Now, it's not a whole lot of money, but there is money nonetheless to spend. And China's a huge market. And as far as them being free and not free, I'm not going to get into the political aspects of that. I just want to touch on I want to touch on the broadcasts, getting our broadcasts out there to China. It's a farce. I'm just being silly. Because everyone's freaking out about it. It was like if China shut down, the whole United States would go broke. But we did it to ourselves, I think, for the most part. So I'm just throwing that out there. And don't forget, if you can go to the Prophet Radio website, and that's PROPHET radio.com. And if you want to be heard, or you want to comment on any of the stuff that we've done here on past podcasts, just click Be Heard. It's a little blue bar. It's the only blue thing on the page. And click on that. Opens up a microphone on your desktop your smartphone, tablet, whatever you got. Access your microphone. I'm not going to listen to you, believe me. I got enough shit to do, like I've said that a million times. And just leave us a message saying, hey, what did you mean by that? And what did you do about this? Now, I'm going to talk about some other stuff here on the show that you might want to chime in about. So I'm hoping to stir your noodle there and get your opinion on some stuff, whether it's right or wrong, or who am I to say whether it's right or wrong? That's what an opinion is. I think a very smart man once said, opinions like assholes. Everyone's got one. So there you go. All right, well, when we come back, I'm going to get into us being all together, and what does that mean for us as a society? Are we going forward or are we going backwards as far as us all getting along here in the United States? So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I told you, I hate the first segment. I hate it. All right, I'm going to give you guys a break. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting live from the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. You can give us a call here at the station at any time at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time at the Queen City studio at 407-448-8800. And make sure you follow us on all our social networks and our YouTube page and our Twitter and the Instagram and all that stuff, and find that on prophetradio.com. One thing I have been doing, and I've been having a little bit of fun with it, is I have a PlayStation 4. I dragged myself kicking tooth and nail, whatever the slogan is, to not get a PlayStation 4. My wife bought me one. No problem. So now I've gotten to the point playing the games and stuff that I'm ready to do a live broadcast. You see all the kids. I say all the kids. You see all these people that are on Twitch and YouTube, and they're playing the game, and they comment on it, and they do all this stuff. Well, I've gotten into that field now. And what it is in between the podcast and my daily chores that I have here on the French, there's some downtime in between, an hour or two here and an hour or two there. And I sit down and I play the PlayStation and I live broadcast it on YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that, if you want to see some of the funny shenanigans that I do on the PlayStation 4. Now, the game I play is the Call of Duty World War II. And I'm just out there running around making fun of everyone and check it out. So just go search Deacon Live on YouTube and make sure you subscribe and follow us as well. So now, one thing that's going on, October. Now, when you say October, you think a couple things. You think cool weather. You think Halloween. What else do you think of in October? Well, I don't know when this happened, but it's now coming up to the surface that October is now LGBT. Now, see, I'm not in the community. LGBT month, which means they celebrate. It's like Black History Month is February. I think Latin history is. Oh, I'm good. Here come the phone calls. It's either March or April. I forget. I don't want to say May because I don't want to lump in Cinco de Mayo. Think, it's got to be May because it probably is May. I don't know. But October is now, and every day's got a national thing, and every week's got a national thing. So October is National LGBT Awareness Month. Of course, they picked the scariest month for the scariest thing, but that's just my opinion. And what's scary is, there is a fly right here. I'm going to get him. Watch this. I'm going to get him. He's going to die. You are dead. Got him. So Kellogg's has come out with a special commemorative box of cereal. He just got up. I stunned him. I got him that time. Kellogg's has come out with a new box of cereal, and it's called the All Together cereal. Now, I'm going to switch screens here. And this is a small video describing what the Kellogg's intention is and why this cereal came out.
And it's called We All Belong Together. Weird name for a cereal, right? Well, there's a good meaning behind it. Kellogg's is doing this in support of GLAAD's Spirit Day. GLAAD's Spirit Day is always observed in the third week of October, and it's used as a way to speak out against LGBTQ bullying and harassment that the LGBTQ community may face.
Okay, so I misspoke. It's not the whole month. It's the third week. It's kind of like Thanksgiving is always like the third Thursday of November. So the third week of October, I guess, is it a full week? Like, what if the first falls on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then the Monday would be the 4th, and then would that be considered week number 1? I don't know. The third Thursday is easy to remember for Thanksgiving. The third week, full week, half week, I don't know. They got to be a little bit more together on this cereal.
Wearing the color purple is a way to support all the LGBTQ community on Spirit Day.
Now, on Spirit Day, because I thought purple represented, I think, it's not autism, it's something else. There's something else that's purple. I know if you see purple on the trees, you're not allowed to hunt in that area, but
And Kellogg's tied
maybe you're not allowed to hunt the LGBT if you got the purple on. Anyway.
that into their cereal and made the new box for this We All Belong Together cereal the color purple. It's a really nice shade. It's got some nice gradients on it, and it does feature all the mascots from Kellogg's different cereals like Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Rice Krispies, Raisin Brans, Frosted Mini Wheats, and Corn Flakes. Cereal mascots are Tony the Tiger.
So I think what they've done is they've thrown all these the cereals all in one bowl. I'm looking at the bowl right now. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, under the tent, you see all the mascots and stuff. All I see is Fruit Loops, shredded wheat, and maybe some Rice Krispies in there somewhere. It's kind of like that. I forget who makes it, but there's a bag of chips that are out there that has like Doritos, pretzels, Cheetos, all in one bag. It's like all the crap when the pallets bust in the warehouse. They kind of just sweep it all in one thing and shove it in a bag. It's all the busted stuff from all the and that's what this is, I think, all the busted boxes from different cereals. They just put it all in one bin, and they go, what do we do with all these bins of mixed cereal? Guess what? No bullying.
Toucan Sam, Snap, Crackle, and Pop are
geez.
also on the box together. They're all holding hands and smiling, just showing that symbolism of belonging together. This is a really nice promotion tie-in because Kellogg's isn't just doing this as a cash grab. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
They are.
They're making a very generous $50,000 donation to GLAAD to support their efforts.
Wait. Did he say a generous $50,000? $50,000? So you're telling me you've got millions and millions of boxes of cereal, and you are literally paying $50,000 to the GLAAD cause here.
With everything that they're trying to do.
That doesn't make sense. I say it doesn't make sense. That just shows they don't have a whole lot of support behind it. I'm just saying. I mean, that's not a whole lot of support behind. I mean, Kellogg's can say, "Here's $50,000. Yeah, go away, kid. You're bothering me," type thing. So they threw $50,000. Hey, we're doing something, and it. I don't know. So they're blending all the cereals together and calling it. We're all together to promote not bullying the LGBT community. And something that's got us all confused, speaking of bullying, something that's got us all confused, I say all confused, a lot of us, are you aware that they are now mandatory scheduled to teach the history, not literally the history of LGBT in schools, but some of the schools are now saying they're rewriting the history books. Hey, guess what? Remember Benjamin Franklin? Yeah, he was gay. Not that he was gay, I'm just saying. But they're going back through the history books and they're tagging, they're rewriting history the way it was. I mean, granted, you know, there's an old saying that says only the winners of wars write the history books, because The losers, of course, aren't around to write it. So here we are now they're rewriting history books.
It's controversial because some publishers were not comfortable identifying people as gay. They did not out themselves, or the conclusion lacked evidence. And secondly, these courses are not optional, meaning parents cannot opt out.
That means your kids are being taught the LGBT, not lessons, but who is, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transsexual throughout history.
Welcome to elementary school, where in California the law requires a fair, accurate, inclusive, and respectful treatment of lesbian, gay, bi, and transsexual Americans.
I think what's going on here is an effort to politicize history.
Now that guy could have been, he was a little weird looking.
We're not trying to make anybody gay. We're not saying there's an agenda. We're not saying that these people are better than other people. All we're saying is,
Now this is the writer, the guy who does the books.
this is another group of Americans, and
Publisher.
they face certain prejudices.
The state required publishers like Mark Jarrett to include the sexual preferences of prominent historical figures, among others, activist Jane Addams.
Now I don't understand why it says that they have to include the sexual preference of each person behind their name, like gay person. Well, they're talking Emily. Let's see, hold on.
Writers Emily Dickinson and Nathaniel Hawthorne, and President James Buchanan, though evidence is inconclusive.
See, that's the thing. You go back so far, it's allegedly he was gay, just because he didn't have a wife or he didn't have a partner or anything like
I
that.
think we should say Buchanan, he never married. He had a very good friend who was living with him. He may have been gay. On the other hand,
I know at least 10 or 15 guys that have never been married and have a friend. It's called a roommate that they live with because they are, for whatever reason, they're not established. They don't have a good job, or they spend their money on frivolous things, and they have a roommate. Are they gay? No.
at that time, being gay was seen as something evil and wrong.
The state approved Jarrett's text for 8th graders. In it, he refers to stagecoach driver Charlie Parkhurst as a woman who identified as a man. Baron von Steuben, who helped Washington at Valley Forge, may have been gay. Poet Walt Whitman
may have been gay.
Was drawn to young men in parks and dance halls, but denied his same-sex preferences in public.
Much of this is speculation. It's not good history.
Yeah, it's not good history. If you start saying stuff like this, and then, you're literally, it's hard enough to learn history without confusing the people that are, these youngsters, these kids, and then throw sexual preference in there.
Rejected publishers who refused to label some figures as gay and forced another to insert the word lesbian when referring to astronaut Sally Ride.
Why?
It's controversial because
why do you have to throw in lesbian Sally Ride? What if she had like one arm missing? Amputee Sally Ride, and what if she was a lesbian and an amputee? Lesbian amputee, Sally Ride, blah blah blah, astronaut and stuff like that. When do we stop? When they say let's all get together, let's all get along, but yet we're still labeling people and putting them in boxes. We're putting them in little compartments, and now we're trying to justify or label these people. A couple episodes ago, but it's confusing. It's confusing to do all that. Just let history be history. Let black and white. Let's Spanish, Latin community, amputee, gay, lesbian. Just throw that out of the way and just teach about history. This person discovered the cotton gin. This person discovered electricity. This person was the first president. Now, granted, male and female. This is the first female. This is the first female president, or first female this and first female that. I can understand that, but then where does it stop? I don't know. Oh, well, there you go. Yep. And where does it stop? I don't know where it stops. But guess what's coming up? Halloween. Halloween's coming up right around the corner. Can't stop that from happening. When we come back, I'm going to talk about some spooky things that people are talking about and some real ideas behind that. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Give us a call here at the station at 407-448-8800. We're live from the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Before I continue, I would like to thank some of the people, some of the restaurants out there that had us, that kind of catered to us at DeaconLive. And that is the PJ Lobster House over in Port Jefferson. We had some food there, some great food. They got like a fish market on one side and then the food on the other side. And the owner actually reached out to me, and so we had a good time there. Also, Desiree's Bagels over in Sheldon, they supplied breakfast for us, and also Bankerts supplied most of the pastry treats that we had for DeaconLive while we were out there in the Long Island area. And Bankerts is located over in Center Reach. Whew. And that's a lot of... We ate so much damn food over there. Oh, God. So, Halloween's coming around. It's scary time of year. Is it scary? Are you guys ready? Are you guys scary? You know what I'm not seeing as much anymore on the Facebook feeds? And make sure you follow us on Facebook. Is the sexy Halloween costume dead and gone and dead? Is it out the door? Is it like, hey, grow up, stop being a whore? You know, they were saying for a while that the Halloween costumes were for adults, or the season Halloween was for getting to be more of an adult holiday than a kid's holiday. You know, the people that are like, how do I say this politely? Well, I've talked about it before. You know, there's this group of people that are like between the ages of 40 and 50 that have been divorced and they're single again, and now they're dressing like whores, and they're dressing like, you know, jamooks, as my wife would say. But I haven't seen as much anymore. I've seen the Facebook feeds are mostly for the kids for the most part. Now, granted, you know, Halloween is another, 10 days out from where we're at. What's today's date? Well, I look here on the screen. What's today's date? Yeah, about 10 days out, or a little under 10 days out. And, you know, normally this week, I bet you what, I guarantee you right now, this weekend is the weekend that everyone has the Halloween parties and everyone shows up in their whore outfits. You know, I'm a sexy nurse. I'm a sexy thing. Was it Mr. Rogers? There was a sexy Mr. Rogers outfit. I guess they're out there somewhere. I was reading someone was protesting about that. Oh, the people in his neighborhood. The people in the neighborhood were complaining about the sexy Mr. Rogers. I didn't see the picture, but I just heard it in borrow from somewhere else. But, you know, one thing that is scary, you can go through all the Halloween haunted houses, all Halloween this and the stagecoach rides. We were doing a Halloween ride here for a charitable event, and that'll happen here in the next 2 weeks. It's kind of an ongoing process for the local equine rescue center that we're part of. But one thing that's scary is, you know, there's a scene in Pulp Fiction where John Travolta gets his, I forget what kind of car it is. I think it's either a Fairlane or a GTO, and he gets it out of storage. First day out, someone comes by and scratches it. Now, there's a thing going around. I don't know how it started or why it started or what the case is, but there's a lot of cars out there, Teslas, that are being damaged. Literally, like, they're walking by and scratching them. Now, I want you to watch this video. I want you to go to YouTube, type in DeaconLive, all one word, and you can see these videos. Now, watch this. There's no sound to it. So here comes this woman. She's got one of those. Some women carry them on their keychains. It's kind of it's that long spike that's like solid metal that they use, you know, if you're going to be attacked, like if you're a single woman or just a woman that walks in like dark places and stuff, or even light places. She's got it on her keychain. She walks by this car. Now, what I didn't know is Tesla has about 12 to 9 cameras around the vehicle itself watching it at all times. So this woman comes by. Now I'm pausing it right here. She's a larger woman, and I don't want to say she's young. She's probably mid-20s, maybe late 20s, early 30s maybe. She's got like an Adidas shirt on and some running pants. Maybe she just got done working out. Well, good power to her. But she walks by this Tesla and literally just takes the key or that thing and scratches down the side of the Tesla car. and then gets in her car and takes off. Why? I don't know why. Why would you key a Tesla car? They're saving the environment. Is it because of the price? And I want you to hear this article too.
Tesla caught everything. Alan Tweedy's prized possession is his 2018 Tesla Model 3. He uses it to commute everywhere and never had a problem until Saturday morning when he parked at Legacy High School for
Now this is another Tesla car that's been keyed.
his daughter's nearby soccer game.
You can feel like down to bare metal, and you can see it's scratched all the way completely through the paint.
Tweedy says he found the damage when he got home. That's when he decided to test his car's newest feature, 9 motion capturing cameras placed in several strategic places.
And then I found one where a woman distinctly came around with a key in her hand, dug it.
Again, it's a larger woman. Maybe big women don't like Teslas because I can't get in them. I can't afford them. Christ, they're $1 million or something like that. And here she comes with her actual key.
Right in the side, walked all the way up. Yeah, very angry, very purposeful, definitely trying to conceal it. You can see she's got it down by her hip.
Tweedy was shocked. He says he doesn't recognize the woman or know why she did it, but says there's no way it was random.
Now, it's funny. Keying cars was like a high school thing in my day, back in the 90s, and then it just went away. But unless you have like a vengeful lover, and you could tell how angry someone is when they key your car. Like if it's a light scratch, I hate them, but I still love them or whatever, and it's just the paint. Like you could buff it out. Not sand it down, but yeah, maybe wet sand it down. But then you could tell when someone really hates someone. I mean, they really gouge the side of a car and just right down in the metal and just like the shavings coming off. So there's 2 types of key a car. Not that I'm promoting keying a car, but
Since filed a report with Broomfield Police, but decided to take matters into his own hands too. His video of the keying now has more than 100,000 views on Facebook.
It really speaks to
And this video right here has over 1 million views, so
the level of anger for a crime like this, that so many people are willing to spread it and share the word and try to help us find it, because nobody likes this. This is my car, but it could be yours next.
Because the damage is estimated at more than $2,000, Broomfield police say the woman will likely face felony charges.
Yes!
Tweedy says the possible punishment fits the crime.
Turn yourself in, do the right thing, be a better person than you were yesterday when you were gouging the side of my car.
Now, if you do recognize the woman in this video, Broomfield police ask that you call their non-emergency line and ask for Officer
So there you go.
Lundstedt.
Yeah, I mean, this is Broomfield.
Connor McHugh covering Colorado First.
In Colorado. So this, and the other one was here in Charlotte. The woman with the Adidas shirt on. So yeah, people are taking revenge, I guess, or just going up against Tesla cars. So you guys out there that have Tesla cars, now I don't want to get one. Is it because it's an expensive car? I mean, like I said, it's trying to save the planet. And here are these big LGBT. I'm kidding. They're not big Well, they're not LGBT. They are big. And they're keying the car. So watch your stuff out there. When we come back, I was talking about getting in my head. There's sometimes you get something stuck in your head and you don't know how it got there or why it's there. And when we come back, I'm going to explain that a little bit. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our Twitter pages, all our social pages, and stuff like that. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio.com, and make sure you click on the Be Heard section. I know I probably ruffled some feathers with the past couple segments that I did, and if I've stirred your pot, let's put it that way. Go to the Be Heard section and click on Be Heard and leave us a voicemail. It's not a voicemail, I'm sorry. Leave us a message. It comes right to my email address, and I can I'll play it right here. Whether you hate it, whether you like it, whatever the case may be, it'll come right here to the radio station. I'll play it on the next podcast, and you can say, "Hey, look, I got my point across." Or you can call us anytime at 407-448-8800 or text us anytime at that same number. So, there's a thing that was going around. I'm going to talk a little bit of Facebook right now. There was a little... There's a... What are they? Inspirational words or inspirational things. You always see them all the time. Inspirational, kind in Jesus and even not Jesus, just kind in this and that, and be wholesome to the others and be natural to the blah 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 blah. It's all garbage. They're all Hallmark cards, and they drive me insane. Especially those people out there. That's all they post. That's all they post. Love and tender. Just make up your own words. Use your own. Can you tell it bothers me? Just make up your own inspirational thought or stuff. I like the funny ones that says, Taco Tuesday is much better than any pumpkin spice, and I'll fight you to the grave on that one or something. When it makes sense, everyone brags about pumpkin spice, but I think Taco Tuesday would trump that in any court of law. Now, one thing that I did see, and we'll switch screens here for you. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. You can see all this stuff as it happens as I'm talking about it. Now, nope. This one. I saw this inspirational quote set up, and it actually says, it's got some scary figures and some, it's all in the spirit of Halloween. It says, the human brain cannot make up faces in your dreams. Paranormal experts say that unfamiliar faces you see in your dreams are faces of ghosts that are watching you while you're sleeping. Now, did you catch all that? So the people that you see in your dreams are technically what paranormal experts say are ghosts watching you sleep. Now, of course they're going to say that because there's no scientific proof that there's an afterlife. There's no scientific proof that there's anything outside of, eyes open, heart stops beating, brain stops moving, and then there's nothing, no proof. No proof. If there was, then, it's all a big hope. Anyways, but I mean, that's how paranormal people make their money. It's a big con game. Now, something that you don't know, I say you don't know, but hold on. Do I have a video for this? I do have a video for this. So this is the same thing. Basically, in my response to the post was, the faces, the unfamiliar faces that you see in your dream they're not people watching you that are dead. That's stupid. They're actually in the room with you. But you've gained these images just through your everyday life of walking around, and there's a study that was shown. If you show 100 faces to a person, and some of the faces are just blank, just dead on stare, and then 50 of the pictures are of like a goofy face or an angry face or a happy face or some kind of emotion, people to go back through those faces again would recognize the emotional faces before they recognize the blank stare faces. Because it kind of puts an imprint on you. Now, somewhere in your time, whether you go to Walmart or you go to the mall, you go to the gas station or pick up your kids from somewhere, someone has either smiled or had some kind of emotional feature on their face that your mind unconsciously grabbed it and locked it in what they call a catalog. I just say it's a catalog, but that's what it is, a catalog. And here's a prime example. Are you familiar with this movie here?
It was a place, and you were there.
Oh,
But you couldn't have been, could you?
well, we dream lots of silly things when we...
No, Aunt Em. This was a real, truly live place. And I remember that some of it wasn't very nice, but most of it was beautiful. But just the same, all I kept saying to everybody was, I want to go home. And they sent me home. Doesn't anybody believe me?
Of course we believe you, Toto.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home.
So that's the scene from The Wizard of Oz. I'm probably going to get flagged for that stupid thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the scene from Wizard of Oz. And it is her family was the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion and the Wizard. And so she was, that's a dreamscape. That's what you do. Your mind brings in these outside pictures, and if you have a if you're having a dream or whatever, you plug in these unknown faces to your dreams. So when I see the paranormal experts say that people in your dreams that you don't recognize are actually dead people watching you, that's just a ploy. It's a ploy to scare you. Or is it? Oh, they'll do anything. They'll do anything for a buck. I mean, they have all those paranormal. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the movies, the paranormal activity movies, because there's always that chance. What if? Anyways, I get scared on that. You know what is scary is do you remember? God, that's a horrible segue. But I mean, for the most part, something that's gone away, we don't even recognize anymore, or recognize that it has gone away. But I'm going to bring it to the forefront right now. So think about, let's say back in June and July, the big buzz, the hot topic, the pit bull, the religion, the addiction, the hot topic button in the summertime is kids being left in cars. Now, here we are in October. When's the last time you heard about kids being left in cars, or, sweltering heat and all that stuff? Now, I did see one. I will admit, I did see, not an actual kid in a car, but a news report here in the Charlotte area on Fox 46. Thank you very much. And I did see someone left a child in the car, and the kid, I forget what the outcome was. I don't know if the kid survived or not, but I mean, there was one. But that was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago that I saw that report. But you haven't really heard them, like, they're not stacked on top of each other anymore, or compounded anymore. And you wonder why. And you think about that. You wonder why. Why don't you hear about it anymore? And in my opinion, and I want to hear yours, if you go to prophetradio.com and click on the Be Heard section, here's kind of like my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion, but think about it. So you have these parents, single mother, single father, whatever the case may be, and they have the child, it's summer break, so the kid's out of school. Now you've got one more responsibility during your day as a single parent, or single mom, single dad, whatever, that you weren't expecting. So it's kind of like that joke when you leave your car, you always go keys, wallet, gum. What does it say? Keys, wallet, phone, gum. I think there was a commercial out there like that. So, and that's your normal everyday thing, from September all the way up until June, or whenever school's out again. You don't have to worry about the kids, because you're dropping the kids off and you're going on about your day. You're going to get your hair done, you're going to your job, or you're going to whatever you have to do for that day. Keys, wallet, phone, gum. It's a commercial. I'm not going to get into it. But now here you go into summer, and now you've got you do your normal day activities. You go to the hair salon, you go to the store, and that's what's happening. People are going to the store, and they're forgetting the kids in the back, and they're forgotten kids. You don't see that anymore. So, I mean, what kind of parenting is that when, you forget about your kids in the summertime, but yet all winter and spring and fall and all the other months, you don't forget them because you don't have them. There's a family structure there that's missing, or some kind of, I don't want to say routine. There's a joke going around about, news says, well, put something important in the back of your car, like take your left shoe off and put it in the back seat, so when you get out of the car, you know to put your shoe back on because it's in the back seat. How about, what's important in the back seat of the car? Your kid. Your kid's important in the back seat of the car. So I'm just saying. I'm not, who am I to say? But it's weird that you only see it in the summertime. Granted, it's hot. In the wintertime, if you leave your kid in the car, the kid's probably freezing cold. You don't see any stories about kids freezing in the car. But, I mean, for the most part, that's just my opinion, why you hear it in the summer times, because parents aren't used to having their kids on a daily basis as towards them being in school all the time. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into, let's see what we're going to get into. we're gonna talk about a new twist on an old restaurant, and all I want is 10%. This is my idea. All I want is 10%, and we're gonna talk about this little boy. Speaking about little boy, who did it just right, all by himself. And when we come back, we'll talk about that. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks and stuff, and make sure you follow us on YouTube. YouTube's a great place to follow us because you get to see what we call Under the Tent, which is all the live streaming video that we have here in the studio. And subscribe to that, and you can also see my dumbass playing Call of Duty on the PlayStation 4 network, and you can see all the funny comments. I make fun of the little kids. You know, during the summertime, it was fun making fun of the little kids as they were playing. Just stop shooting me! Shut up, kid! But it's interesting to see all the people that are playing online at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 o'clock in the morning or whenever I get on there. And so subscribe to that, and it gives you all the information on how to follow me, Deacon Live, through the PlayStation Network. If you want to play with me, that's fine. If you want to play a game with me, I'll bless your ass, kid. Kidding. So restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants that have been around a long time, and a lot of restaurants, some of them are closing down. I think I saw something about Steak and Shake's closing down like 9 or 10 different locations in the Florida area, and they're not shutting them down permanently, like destroying them. They're waiting for like franchisees to come by and buy the license and stuff. So there's one restaurant, Steak and Shake. Man, they got some. My wife hates their fries. I love their fries because you put cheese on them and the hot pepper vinegar. But I mean, that's a good steak burger because it is a steak burger for the most part. Now, there's one restaurant we've all been to. Anyone that's the age of, let's say, 18 and above, or if you've got parents that are like 30, 35 years old and you're a child of 6, 7 years old, we've all been to these restaurants, and I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think it is. Oh, if you're watching the video, I already know, but
video. You got it?
So everyone knows that sound. Everyone can picture in their mind exactly what's happening. And it's a hibachi restaurant. And it's the chef. He's, doing the juggling of the spatula and the fork. He's not really good. They're never really good. Some of them are good. Some of them aren't good.
Making fire, right?
All right. So here's the thing. Hibachi has been doing the Japanese restaurants have been doing hibachi for I don't know how long. It seems like 50 years, but it's the same routine for the last 50 years. Think about it. What's the top 5 things that they do? All right. So the first thing they do is they oil the flat top, the cooktop, to get it ready to go. And they always have something stupid like, here's Mickey Mouse, here's a smiley face, if there's a lovers around the table, they'll do a big heart, and then they light the whole thing on fire.
Milan fire, okay?
So he lights the thing on fire.
Nice, right?
Does all the vegetables. All right, so once the vegetables are hitting the thing, what do they do next? Yeah, I know. The volcano. Oh, no, wait, sorry. They do the egg thing. Now, that's kind of talented, but I mean, it's the same thing all the time. They do the egg, they juggle the egg, and then they crack the egg. There it goes. This guy's picking the shells out of it.
Baby oil, Johnson and Johnson.
Baby oil, Johnson & Johnson. They always have, they throw their own little twists on things, but it's the same thing. They do the egg, and then they do, what do they do next? The onion volcano. There goes.
Fire me!
Now this guy's got a little fireman, and it's a little boy with his pants pulled down, and he's peeing on the, it sprays water out. It's cute. people get in trouble for that, but he didn't.
It's okay, baby. That's not water. Japanese pee inside.
It's Japanese pee-pee inside. Yeah, see, that's good.
You like it?
All right, so what's next? I don't know what he's doing. He's beating a drum or something, and while he's chopping up something. Next is they throw the shrimp. The next thing he does is, I've seen where they put the rice in the shape of a heart, and he sticks a spatula underneath it and kind of pumps it so it looks like the heart's beating. But I mean, it's tired. It's tired. It's old. It's tired. The whole hibachi thing is tired. Someone needs to come through and reinvent the hibachi restaurant. Now, I have an idea. Now, all I want is 10%. That's all I want is 10% of whatever restaurant. Now, if you've ever been to like Waffle House, or if you've been to like Denny's, or you've been to these what my dad used to call choke and pukes, they have a grill top. Now, why can't you figure out a way to incorporate doing a breakfast? Because a breakfast has at least 5 or 6 different elements. You have a pancake, you have eggs, you have your bacon, you have your sausage, grits if you do grits on a hot plate. I don't know how you do that. But I mean, why can't they do like a breakfast hibachi or even a brunch hibachi, and kind of restaurants take this and go? Do they own hibachi? Does Japan own hibachi like they own the panda bears? Like you're not allowed to have your own panda bears, that you lease them through, is it Japan? It could be wrong. It could be China. But I'm just saying, why can't other restaurants incorporate this hibachi things? Now, there's a lot of places called like the Melting Pot where they have a fondue thing. Oh, really? 1970s call? We're still behind the times. Let's get some of our new restaurants up to date. Now, there was who's the guy out in California that instilled the whole open kitchen restaurant thing that you see like in when you go to Applebee's, I'm sorry. Yeah, Applebee's has it. Your chain restaurants have it, that open kitchen restaurant, which is basically just heating food up and throwing it in, a big fanfare. But there was a guy in California that reinvented the way we went into like Applebee's or Bennigan's. No, I don't think Bennigan's does it. Carrabba's is a main one where you could see the whole kitchen. You could see it working, but it's not a hibachi. I want a hibachi. I want breakfast hibachi on my table. I want to see dancing bacon. I want to see eggs sizzling. I want to see how they do the hash browns and all this stuff. And if, and a show, dinner and a show, breakfast and a show. That's what I want. Now, I don't know. You got to be in the right frame of mind to enjoy a breakfast hibachi. I mean, sometimes it's early, you're picking crust out of your eyes, or you're hungover, or just do the breakfast hibachi at 2 a.m. That's the best time to do it, I think. So 10%, that's all I want. And when we come back, I'm going to show you this kid who he really did it good this time. Him and his dad were out there just being, father and son, family element together, and really hit this one out of the park. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Don't forget, I apologize again for this podcast being a little bit late, a little bit behind schedule, because we were in New York and just trying to collect my thoughts and collect everything around here at the French. And my reward back to you is to email me. Excuse me. Deacon@prophetradio.com, and and all you have to do is put free swag and put your address in there, and I'll send you out some free swag to your location. So I apologize. So if you want to take advantage of that, go right ahead. And at any time, you can do that as long as you hear this podcast. All you have to do is free swag. Oh, excuse me. And also, what was I going to say? Oh, I'd like to thank all the people out there that had that invited Deacon Live to New York. Again, I'd like to thank PJ's Lobster House in Port Jefferson, Desiree's Bagels in Selden, and Banker's in Center Reach for catering to us and supplying all of our 400 and some odd pounds that we gained while we were out there. Now, speaking of weight and being overweight, or just being just being a big fat ass anyways, something that well, how do I segue from that? I don't know. So father and son, we're going to leave on a feel good note here. So a father and son are out fishing at their local, probably the dad's little secret spot, little honey hole is what they call it. And he's out there fishing with his son. Now, from my understanding, the kid has caught this so many times. Kamari Cooper catches his biggest bass yet with his father. So watch this video here. It's a great video because here we go. Hold on. So he's on the bank of this little lake, river, or whatever it is. It's nice and smooth. I mean, look at the water. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, Deacon Live, all one word. It's a nice, beautiful day. He's got his hat on. He's got his little fishing pole, little maybe 6-foot fishing pole. Looks like a Zebco, if you guys know what that is. The water is glassy, and you can tell by the reflection there's hardly any clouds in the sky. So here he goes. He's hooked them.
He coming in. It's bad. It's a good one.
Your drag set good?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
He's getting excited.
Make sure that drag is loose because he's going to pull hard when he get in the front.
Okay.
So you got to set his drag so if the fish takes off, doesn't snap his line.
Loosen up a little bit. Not that silver part, bro.
And I'm looking at his reel or his reel now. It's a bait caster. It's the spool, so it's not a Zebco.
There you go. There you go. Working son. There you go. Bring him on up.
You can hear him splashing around.
Go down and get him. I got you right.
So he's got his little mucking boots on. He gets down to the bank of the river.
By the mouth.
Oh, holy mackerel.
Yes, sir.
Now, this kid's probably about 10 years old, 10 years old, and the fish is probably half his height, if not longer. He's holding it up in front of the camera, and it's bigger than his head. Look at this. You got to mount that guy.
So making no.
Yeah. Oh, this got to be at least 6'7".
God, toe making no.
6-7 pounds is what he's guessing.
Black trick round with your boy Scott Coleman sent to us.
I don't know what he just said there.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is like a 5-6 pounder.
God, toe making no. Let's get him on the scale right
I don't know
quick,
what he
man.
said.
He gotta be 6.
So he's got a digital scale here,
right here.
and if you're not familiar with a digital scale, you hook it in the gills, and you let gravity take its course. So you just kind of hold the scale up and weigh the fish. So here he goes. He's hooking it under the gills. You hear the crunchy of it. He's holding it. Kid's not looking. He's father sitting there holding it. Oh my. Oh my.
Is it your personal best? Is this your personal best? Is this your personal best? Is this your personal best?
He showed it to him.
Is that your personal best?
Kid's running around, throwing his hat around.
Your personal best?
He's excited. He's gone.
7 pounds, 1 ounce.
7 pound, 1 ounce bass. This kid caught.
Personal best?
He's excited, man.
1 ounce.
He's excited. He's excited. So, like any good fisherman, puts the fish back in the water. You hold him in the water, get the water going over his gills a little bit.
Go back and be better.
He's petting him a little bit.
One day we're gonna meet back again.
That's all right.
I'll see you later.
He lets him go. and the fish takes off, swims away. So how about that? Well, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to us. I'm going to let you get back to what you got to do. Hopefully go out there and catch a 7.2 ounce bass just like that kid did. I'd like to thank everyone for having us out there at the Long Island area. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and do all that stuff. And the way you do that is go to profitradio.com, go to the social networks, become a member. You can hear all the shenanigans and all the videos, all the audio, and all the pictures from New York if you're in the members only section of the Profit Radio. It is a subscription site, so make sure you follow up on that. And I'd like to thank everyone for spending some time with us. On behalf of myself, my name is the Deacon saying
Oh no. Wait, come back.
This is the end, the absolute end.
Écoute-moi.